Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file, and this is a patch in the red cut line, and he wants to stitch it. And I'm going to use, for the video, I'm going to use an 18 gauge needle, so I'm going to go 1 millimeter, even though he gave me both. I'm just going to work with millimeters. I've already drawn a hole that is 1 millimeter. I need to Control D and make a duplicate. Your offset is set at some weird amount. I would keep it at 0, 0 for a lot of reasons. So grab that, Control D and make a duplicate and just move that line over. So now we got the two. But first we need to make a contour of this line. So let's go to group and ungroup. I've got my nudge factor set on big enough to move it out of the way. But before we do that, we need to figure out where we're going to put that line. So I'm going to get the virtual segment delete key or parallel dimension tool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to measure from that about there to there, and I got 22 inches. We can change that to millimeters right here. And we've got 5.58. So let's write that down, put it on the screen, 5.58 millimeters. We can erase this now. Let's nudge this out of the way. You don't have to do that, but I like looking at it this way. Now we need to go to Effects and Contour, and we're going to contour half of 5.58. 5.58 divided by 2 is 2.79. So we're going to contour 2.79 one time to the inside. And there we have it. We're going to go up to Object, break contour apart, move the red back over, that's his cut line. Now we can take our new contour line, go up to Windows, Docker's Properties, and when you get that, you get this little curve line, and our line is 923. So remember that, 923. We're going to take our two circles. You can barely see them. Let's put them down here. I'll grab the 5.58. I must not have grabbed the other circle. We'll just make another one. Well, let's get it off the screen. There it is. Now I'm going to bring it in. I don't think it really matters if they're perpendicular to each other, but it'd be better to have them that way, I think. So I'm going to select them, go on and hit B and put them in the bottom. So our curve was, I've already forgotten, 293. 923, sorry. We're going to grab our two items. We're going to go to Effects and Blend. Let's get out the calculator. We're going to put them every 3. 923 divided by 3 is basically 308. So we've already got 2. So we're going to go 306. Hit Apply. We're going to go down here to New Path. Put it on the path. Matter of fact, let's back up. It would always probably be better to put it on a straight line. I don't know that it really matters. It's still trying to put it there. Maybe it'll work. I've always put it on a bigger area. Grab our blend and blend along full path. Hit Apply. It put the holes all along our contour. Let's select it all. Go up to Break Blend Apart. Select it all again. Don't really have to, but I do. Group and ungroup. And then zoom in, and let's take away the line by clicking on the line and hitting delete. Now we've still got our nudge factor set on the same thing. Now you have holes for the needles right in the middle for the most part. We could have played around with it a little bit more maybe. Maybe my measurement was off. you know, you've got some really jagged edges, and I know very little bit about Oklahoma's border. This is the Texas border. So you could smooth that out a little bit. But your stitch needles look pretty good, and that's just a engraved border. I think it would be better if it was a little bit thinner. That's just my personal preference. Let's go up to see it's 10 points. Let's go to 5 and see what it looks like. And this is just, well, it's 4. I think that actually looks better, but I would do that before I started. The other just kind of stands out too much. But anyway, that's how to put a needle hole. And I would definitely test this before I did it. And if you wanted to, since we've broken these apart, you could align these, you know, go up with the shape tool and align them. There it is, align horizontally. Whoop, let's just forget that. Let's see, whoop, let's go back. That ought to be able to be done. Go to object. No, I guess because it's got so many nodes in there, it's just not gonna blend. But you could manually move it, set your nudge factor on something pretty low. And that would be personal preference, whether it even matters to you. And if you hold down the shift key, it'll go a little faster. You can always hold down the control button and get it close. And since we've moved, just another little tidbit here, since we moved that one, let's move this one, let's say. And you might even want to remove this one. And here's a little tidbit. I would align these, select them, go up to Object, Align and Distribute, align centers vertically, whoop, align centers horizontally, because that'll get it to left or right. Now they're in a straight line, but remember the fact that we have a little bit more space here than there. You could grab them again and go to Object and Align and Distribute, open up the Docker and use this one right here, and it'll align those dots in a symmetrical pattern. And you could do the same thing all the way around, because now we have, remember we took one out? So let's move this one to the corner. And for real, you'd want to do that, measure it or do that, because it doesn't really matter how many holes you have. I should have left the Align and Distribute Docker open, and we're gonna use this one right. I'm having trouble seeing this one right here. And now the dots are aligned a little better, look a little cleaner. Anyway, that's a pretty cool drawing. I hope that helps you a little bit. I'm just going to check one more thing, and thank you for watching. We're going to make sure there's nothing. You got some white in there. You need to remove that. I always check that. That's very easily done, because that will lightly, well, let's see what color it is. Let's go up to Object, Group, and ungroup all. See, it's a CMYK color. If you're going to engrave it, it's going to engrave that ever so slightly. So I wasn't going to do this, but let's go ahead and show him how to fix that. Go up to Edit, Find and Replace, find Object, Edit Query, double click on this, go to Uniform Color, get your paintbrush or your eyedropper and move it over to that Y. Okay, find All and hit Delete. That's why you probably had it, the white was probably in there. I'm going to make a second video on maybe how to clean this up. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.